Hi guys and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you've seen and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, Saints Langtree Park see St Helens host Catalans Dragons for the opening round game of the Super League, and we have a quick review of that. HKR's owners are closer to repurchasing Craven Park and tapping up claim for one of Castleford's youngsters. So we begin today's video with a look at last night's Super League fixture between St Helens and Catalans Dragons, and it was a tempestuous affair, and I'd like to call it the Battle of Langtree Park, as Catalans ended the game with 12 men as well as a sin bin in a piece for Saints and Catalan. The game started in a rip-roaring fashion as the first tackle brought the first major incident after Gil Dudson was yellow carded and sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes after reacting to a tackle from James Batchelor, which Catalan had already won the penalty for. But Gil Dudson was sent to for 10 minutes for appearing to strike James Batchelor, according to the referee. After Gil Dudson returned, Michael McLaurin got acting halfback, found a pass to Danny Drinkwater, who kicked over the top for Fuad Yaha to score in the corner for the first Super League try of the season. Sam Tompkins had the extras and Catalans were leading 6 points to 0, but it didn't take long for Saints to respond. Tommy Makinson went over for the first of his 2 tries after a pass from Sione Mitautia in what I thought was a forward pass, and Sky refused to show any replays of it and didn't do so for the rest of the night until the closing credits, which we didn't see a good pass, but pictures on Twitter showed that Mitautia was stepping on the 20-metre line with Makinson catching the ball around about 16 metres out from the try line. Super Bowl Saturday night, isn't it? Lewis Dodd missed the kick in what was a night to forget for the Saints kicker, but Saints came at Catalans again as they attacked the right edge this time, and this time Conrad Hurrell was involved. Hurrell in his league debut was a powerhouse all the night and with his right hand edge attack, and he was held up in the tackle but had enough about him to lay off the ball to James Roby. He was nipping round the outside of Conrad Hurrell from the inside to score in the corner himself, making it 8-0 to Saints, which unfortunately Dodd missed again. So as the score's at 8 points to 6 at this stage, it was Lewis Dodd who got on the scoring next, as he kicked the ball for himself into the in-goal area, and under some pressure from Sam Tompkins, the young halfback scored Saints' 3rd try of the night. But he picked up an ankle problem at that time where he couldn't take the conversion, so it was left to Tommy Makinson, who skewed the ball out, completely missing the goal in his attempt. Makinson then scored his 2nd of the night, again in the left-hand corner after some good work from Johnny Lomax this time. But Catalan had a penalty right in front as we're coming closer to half-time, and they decided to kick for goal, and Sam Tompkins made no mistake, and it was 16-8 at half-time. Lewis Dodd got his first kick of the day converted after a penalty early in the second half saw him kick for an 18 points to 8 lead to St Helens, but then he got a bit tasty as it was getting a bit more fractious, penalties, some hard running from Tom Davis throughout the game was a good sign for Catalans, but the game was essentially over in the 72nd minute as Dylan Napper was sent off on his debut for a high shot, a shoulder charge to the head of Mark Percival, who went off for a HIA assessment. Just to rub salt in the wounds, it was a quick try 2 minutes later from Joey Lussick, running from half-back through a gap made by Pearson Tompkins. That made the scores 22 points to 8. Lewis Dodd extended the scoring to 24 points to 8 at this time, and Catalans were also playing against 12 men, as the incident with Dylan Napper saw Morgan Knowles sin-binned. So to have these gaps, it shouldn't happen if they've got numbers correct. And that was more apparent for the Catalans' final try. Saints' final try, as they were both down to 12 men, and Catalans decided to force the issue. Sam Tompkins passed out wide and received the ball off Whitley, but an interception from Conrad Hurrell. He had a straight run to the try line to score the final points of the game, to make it 28 points to 8. So into some serious player tapping up, which never usually happens in rugby league, as the RFL have launched an investigation in an alleged illegal approach for Castleford Tigers young winger Jason Qareqare. Rugby League Live have reported the Tigers have lodged a complaint with the governing body after being informed that the teenager has been offered a deal by another club despite being in contracts with the Tigers until the end of 2022. Rules state that the clubs are not able to discuss potential transfers with contracted players until May the 1st, but the Tigers believe they have enough evidence that a club has not followed the guidance in place. And at the age of 18 years old, Qareqare is one of the most promising players of his age across the sport after stunningly bursting on the scene with the Castleford Tigers last season, seen here with his celebrating as he goes in for his debut try for Castleford against Hull. It was in the opening minutes of his professional debut and his first touch, and he went on to make a further 2 appearances during the season. Inevitably, Castleford are keen to keep hold of their youngster and retain his services, and are understood to have tabled a multi-year contract to him to keep him at Weldon Road. But they were shocked to discover he had already received a contract elsewhere, forcing them to contact the RFL to investigate an alleged tap-up of one of their prized assets. Sources have confirmed the governing body has opened an investigation into the matter. And Qareqare who's Fijian born before moving to Germany, where he spent 4 years before his move to the UK, was given an upgraded contract following his dazzling debut, but now is in the final year of his contract. So, first thing that I'm going to mention is, again, this is a situation that never really happens in rugby league. Another club contacted too early. If it's a genuine mistake, that club has to come out and apologise straight away before the matter goes even further. And apologise to Castleford, but still announce their intentions around the young fellow. Well, I'm sorry. There has got to be a fine as well for the club that has tried tapping him up. On the second part though, 2025 World Cup. Was born in Germany. Born in Fiji, lived in Germany for 4 years. Could he qualify for them in the World Cup in 2025? Or will he get to go with England if he progresses further enough? Or Fiji? If he does qualify for Germany, that's the 2 Drinkwaters and Jimmy Kindhorse, as well as Jimmy Kindhorse's brothers, that'll be looking to get into the 2025 World Cup with Germany. Anyway, I digress. Hopefully a resolution can be sorted out for the young gentleman, as he needs some settling down and some progression, and he needs to think about his career. If he sees himself moving away to play more games, I think that'll be the best option. Or if the multi-year deal is on and Castleford don't see him going into the first team as soon as possible, they should loan him out. The guy needs games, and he could be another one of those stars to come along with the other stars that have just shown themselves in the 2021 season. So it looks like good news is on the horizon for HKR and the club's fans, after HKR's chief executive Paul Larkin insisted the purchase of the Selwell Group Craven Park remains on track and could be secured by spring. Rovers appear to be on the brink of buying back their old stadium at the end of 2019, but were waiting for the deal to get over the line. Hull City Council hold the freehold of the stadium and the adjacent land off Preston Road. The head lease on the ground is held by a private consortium, Kingston Community Developments Limited, who will continue to call KCDL, which worked with the council 22 years ago to rescue the club from administration. It's generally close right now, Larkin told Hull Live. There were quite a lot of delays last year, and COVID certainly didn't help in the terms of personnel from a Hull City Council point of view. At the moment, we're tenants in the North Stand, and with the purchase, we're going to become landlords. So, everything needs flipping over, and there is lots of business in here. Purchasing the ground in terms of the East Stand and the West Stand is very straightforward. But we're going through all the details of the North Stand. We are genuinely going through the final details now. Larkin, seen here on the right, has previously spoken about the club's long-term vision to redevelop the stadium. He says planning has already begun in the background. We're not just sitting there waiting to secure the contract and thinking, right, what do we have to do now? Added Larkin. We are working in parallel in terms of how we look at the whole development process. That's not to say when we announce the purchase we're going to be some big drawings and CADs to show, because there won't be. We're not prepared to show those until absolutely ready. It hasn't delayed the conversation we are having with various different partners, parties or investors in terms of how we can develop the area and the land. They've continued throughout. This is the new Craven Park, which HKR moved into back in 1989, but before that they played at the old Craven Park, which was their home since the year of 1922, after purchasing the original site for £18,281. But now, under the name the Sewell Group Craven Park Stadium, there is exciting times ahead as long as they can get this purchase over the line. In an interview conducted in the beginning of last year, Larkin expressed his hopes that the deal could be concluded in the first half of 2022. The club have had to remain patient, but Larkin is optimistic that it will be weeks rather than months that the completion of the deal will be done. I've put a time frame on it before and I've been very wrong, so I'm loath to do that again, said Larkin. But we've definitely got spring in our mind. No time frame, but spring. Makes sense. But I hope it goes through, because HKR are a team on the up, and there is possibility and potential to grow even further, especially if they're able to get the land across the way as well, as part of the freehold. I've got a feeling they'll build an academy there. Anyway, let's see how it goes. So that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, and also share this video worldwide, as well as clicking the notification bell as it's shown there for any updates on more videos that'll be coming your way in the future. Tell me what you thought about today's episode. Are Saints on the rise for another number 4 in the titles? Looks like it. It's looking ominous as they put Catalans to the sword. Catalans, is Dylan Napper and discipline going to be an issue this year again? I hope not. 13 yellow cards last year. It's not a good stat. Who do you think the club is that is tapping up Qareqare? Is it Hull? I don't know. I'm just speculating. But would you have him in your team, this young 18-year-old? Or do you think he's got time to develop, so a long-term contract would be better for him staying at Castleford? You tell me. And finally, HKR getting their stadium ducks in a row. Hopefully it gets puts to bed all the issues that they've had before, and they're in a financial position to keep it up and running. Anyway, I'll just say thank you for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide, and I'll wish you all the best tonight. Enjoy the rugby league this weekend. It's all the best. I'll see you in the next video.